Were there attempts to barricade Kamkunji grounds on Sunday night when the team tried to access the venue? There are very photos that have come from that place, a photo that I'm going to share with you in this video because we shall try to unravel what happened. I have been following happenings from the preparations as far as Kamkunji is concerned, and reports on the progress of preparations happened probably emerged this night, which is a departure from what normally happens earlier. Early in the day, Sunday, a contingent of ODM Nairobi lawmakers led by Babu Owino and George Alagba held a press briefing in Nairobi here to explain the route that Raila Odinga is going to fly all the way from the airport to Kamkunji. I've understood they're planning to go to town, and then I think they will connect Jogoo Road, then head all the way to that place. So they also came out and debunked the Mandamano myth that there is nothing like Mandamano and they're going to have a peaceful protest. That is what peaceful meeting. That's what has been discussed. So let's get a snippet of that here as we get to the next of this.
Na mkutano wa kesho ni wa amani, na pia hatua yetu itakuwa ni amani. Hatutakuwa na watu wa kuleta fujo ama kuleta makelele. Kwa hivyo tungetaka pia polisi ambao watakuwa na tupatie ulinzi, watupatie ulinzi wa kutosha, kwa sababu hakuna mtu atakuwa na vurugu ama hakuna mtu atakuwa amepanga vurugu.
Tunatarajia kwamba askari wapeane usalama safi kutoka JKIA mpaka ruti yetu nzima mpaka tufike Kamkunji tumalize mahutubiano yetu kesho.
Tomorrow we will announce the last and the final election results, the 2022 election results at Kamkunji grounds. In 2013, we moved from the wolf in Izakasan into the hands of the fox in Chebukati. And as a result, Chebukati has made this nation suffer political oppression.
There is no reason why we can pretend or continue to pretend that we are one country. If we cannot be one country under a system and laws that work, let us divide this country into pieces. The last time we had this conversation, I myself was at the very forefront of saying, let us divide this country into two. Wale wakwe wale, sisi tukwe sisi.
Now that was a press briefing, so we shall get to the bottom of this to see what exactly happened. Now, I think going to town is a strategy to just mobilize the crowd so that the crowd might pile up around the convoy, and then they will go all the way that crowd to Kamkunji. It also sometimes also interesting because when you're coming along, you'll know what the people want to hear. You just sample the chants and the mood, and you know whether there is something that is it. Unlike when you just drive direct to the venue before engaging the people now. But I think this is where the police should offer security fully, because when they are moving to Kamkunji, there are also rogue elements on the way. And the rogue elements will try to mug people and even attack roadside businesses around. And then that's what normally spoils the image of the event, because many, and you cannot blame security operators. It's difficult for them to differentiate between peaceful protester and the thug or people, the illicit persons around, the rogue fellows in the crowd. And that is what can be carried. You know, the media is all around there. And when the story comes out of people who start crying out, "Oh, my business, this and that," then what can make the government to think about making it outlawed. I saw a response from Steve Ogona, the lawyer, saying, "Azimio is at liberty to organize Kamkunjis and protests within the framework of freedom of assembly and association, but they are not permitted to do so to question the validity of the presidential result declared by IBC, for this has been settled by the Supreme Court. The good lawyer, it's not allowed to question. Hapo hapana, because I remember even after Supreme Court, people are giving their opinions on this, and people spoke out about it. So I am not a lawyer, but I think apart from the law, the law in the book, there is also the natural law. I don't think nothing stops Kenyans from talking about it, because the media has been talking about this thing all through, the politicians, the international community, the analysts, and everyone, and even the population. So I don't know on what ground the premise of that argument. Now, I want you to look at the photo in your screen. This photo surfaced tonight. This photo was taken from Kamkunji, where I was supposed to go and hold that rally. And that place, if you can look, you can see ordinary Kenyans there, then the beat of that stage. So what we have understood is like the truck there in Ilikoimeleta, the lorry there, is what had brought those materials, and they were now planning, or now they're erecting the stage tonight, not tonight, on Sunday night. The decision to erect the stage at night was a bit, people were trying to look at it, but then it would be an indication that that rally is going on. Remember, earlier Sunday evening, there were reports that government was planning to halt that rally after that speech by, I want to call it a reckless speech from the Gachagua that I'm going to deal with Raila. And I saw someone saying that, wewe unafaa udini na wale wamama ulikuwa unapatia shuka wakati waka. I'm telling you, Kenyans normally have zero chills. So this photo, we understand that when there was a bit of that commotion, I think that's what Kenyans were talking about. There was a bit of that, a bit of a commotion wakati the lorry arrived, and then the members of the public were around there, and then they piled around that place. There was a perception that perhaps police were trying to barricade, or rather to cordon the place, but that has yet been confirmed that they were allowed in and they erected. So maybe things will change later, but they were allowed to erect the stage. So what was also attracting the attention, I think, of even the security apparatus is why that security was set up then. I remember the other rally I attended, I went to Kamkunji last time. I've gone to Kamkunji twice. So the last Kamkunji one, I was there, and I left there, I think, around about midday. That was 11 a.m. And by the time I arrived is when the stage was being erected. So from morning to I think around 10, 9, people who had gone to Kamkunji were not sure whether the rally was going on. So the decision to erect the rally, the tent at night, is just to show the surety of what was going on. But then it's also a crowd mobilization, because when you put it, you give people confidence as there. They wanted to know whether the police were going to interfere, and that will maybe occasion change of venue, because you can take it to the other Kamkunji in Kibera. That one, even if police says no, people are going to just come pile up and it's going to be done to that change the venue. So they wanted to know whether police were planning to interfere, and I think that was informed by the Kirinyaga speech by Rigiji, where he was saying we need and it could maybe signal that they wanted to halt, or rather to interfere. And that's why when the police were trying to go there were some scenes that emerging that members of the public were trying to confront whether there was a plan to cordon the place. Remember, apart from the fact that that ground can be used for rally, ukienda hapo hata the other days utapata tu watu wamekaa tu. It's a place, there are some street children utapata hapo, na members of the public, just like the one in just like the way people used to go to Uhuru Park. Now there should be no indication, no signal of stopping this rally. I absolutely, I don't see any reason why President Ruto or even Rigathi Gachagua could think about interfering with this rally. The reason why that is not there is because it's protected by the law, and the law allows that. As to whether what they're going to say there, that you will judge after that speech. But the freedom of assembly and picketing is allowed in the constitution. And when you take that, when you try to confront them, we'll be setting our own precedents. The other day, even the lawyers, the Law Society of Kenya and SK, did a protest from Supreme Court to Ministry of Lands, protecting or rather complaining about the slow pace of activities in the lands office. There was also another protest, I think, on Monday by Bunge la Wananchi that was led by the likes of Gaucho. And so this thing has been going on. I don't think it is really, it's not outlawed. There's nothing that is going to be done that is outside the premise of the law. Now, Ruto is campaigning in prayer rallies. If you feel that Raila is going to Kamkunji to campaign, then what's wrong with it? I know that is one of the things that I say, that maybe he's going to talk to the public and it's going to. They know that Raila is getting the country into campaign mode, but if that is it, there should be no problem, because government, when they are in media, when state officials are in media, they're campaigning. When Ruto is making appointments, it's a campaign message. When he's on Sunday church, everything they do have a political angle into it. Firing of President Ruto's people to bring in your people is supposed to make more people to be loyal around you, and that's politics of campaigning for 2027. That should not be, according to me, a big deal if Raila is going to Kamkunji, and from where maybe operatives, government operatives are seeing, they're seeing a campaign. Lastly, I think Raila is under pressure from his supporters to hear from him, because all along this whistleblower discussion has been going on, and I think the voice that has been remaining is that the voice of Raila. Martha Karua has spoken, Kalonzo have spoken, a host of other leaders have spoken, but Raila has been a little bit quiet in it. Now, what Ruto knows is that when Raila speaks and after the Kamkunji rally, the discussion might go down. That's something that for sure Raila Odinga knows, that the discussion about the whistleblower might go down. It might actually end with that rally. The other forms it might take, of course, you can't have rally Monday, Tuesday. So they'll plan on how it will gonna be done. So I don't think there should be an attempt to even stop that rally, because it's within the law and there is nothing bad that has happened. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my take.